So, all right. So, today in this session, I'll be discussing interfaces. One is comparable interfaces, and one is comparator interfaces.
Okay.
So, so before I start about this comparable and comparator, I'll just give a overview of what we discussed in the last session.
Mm.
So this session is going to be in continuation of the last session, but definitely this is a different topic altogether. But yes, we use these two also with respect to collection.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow it is connected to collections. Whatever we have read so far in the collections, will be using these two interfaces there also.
Mm.
So basically, we have seen so many interfaces in collections, right? We have like collection interface, we had set, we had queue, list.
Mm.
So similar, we have another two interfaces. One is comparable interface, another is comparator interface.
Mm-hmm.
And these both the interfaces are used for sorting the data.
Okay.
Right now, whatever we had discussed in the collection is about storing a
Storing
data or
data.
doing the manipulation of the data. Like
Mm.
either we can insert a data, we can update a data, we can delete a data. So that is what we have discussed so far in the previous session.
Mm.
And today see like we have the data, like we have data in a let's say list. We have already stored the data, and now I want to sort the data.
Mm.
So how we are going to that sorting in the collections, because collection is object, right? It's not like a primitive data type where you will do the shifting of the value from one place to another place and you will do that,
Mm.
because object can have more than one value in it.
Mm.
So let's say I'll just discuss few more things. So just for example, let's say we have data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we want to sort this data. Let's say this is in array. So this is not a object, right? It's just a
No.
primitive data type. You
Mm.
understand, right? We have primitive data types and
Yes.
then we have object.
Fixed value
Yes.
and
So like
limit.
int, float,
Yes.
long, these are primitive data type.
Yes.
But in collections we deal with objects. So in collection we deal with like integer. Integer is object. It's a class.
Mm.
And int is a primitive data type. This is a predefined data types. Similar, we will have a different data types, like we will also have a custom data types. Let's say I have a class called employee. So we can have a object of employee also, right? We can
Mm.
store this emp object in a list.
Mm.
So we can have a employee object. It should be not array list, it should be employee.
Okay.
We have
Type
a,
employee.
yes, we have a employee object, and this we can store in a array list, right? List, we can have a list of employee.
Mm.
List of employee, here we can pass a list of employee equal to new array list, and we can store here list dot add this emp object.
Mm.
Let's say tomorrow I said that this employee object has attribute, it has different attributes. Let's say it has id, it has name, it has age, it has email, it has so on. So my requirement here is I want you to sort the employee data based on the age.
Mm.
So let's say this list will have different number of records, right?
Mm.
Let's say we have 10 records in a list. List has 10 records. So there are 10 employee object. 10
Mm.
employee object. So there will be having age associated with each object. So
Hmm.
let's say this is object 1, will have similar like this, something like this, id is equal to 1.
Each object is one employee, for
Yes,
example.
name is let's say ABC. Just for example, I'm taking email. Something will be like abc at the rate gmail.com, age 10. So this is one object. Similar, we'll have different object like this. These will be the separate object,
Hmm.
and each object will have these attributes. And now I tell you to sort this data based on the age. So let's say for example age is here 10, here age is 15, in another object here age is 20. Now I want to sort this data based on descending order. So
Okay.
whose age is more has to be the first record in the list.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
basically after the sorting is done, I want like whose age is more has to be the first record in the list. So first record should be this, then this, then this.
An
Some,
object level.
yes, on the object level. So when you read the first data, which is at index 0, it should give you the employee details whose age is highest,
Hmm.
something like that. So for this type of requirement we have comparable interface and comparator interface.
Okay.
So we use these interfaces to sort the data. So but why we have two interfaces? Because both the interfaces I am saying that it is used for sorting purpose.
Hmm. Hmm.
But if since there are two interfaces, there will be some difference between them when to
Hmm.
use what.
Correct.
So comparable interface always gives you natural ordering of objects.
Hmm.
So what do you mean by natural ordering? And comparator interface will allow you to have a custom order of ordering. So
Okay.
let's say you have some employee object, and by default you want like employee data has to be sorted by id.
Okay.
So when you create a object, right, of the employee object, that time only you want like my data has to be sorted in a with respect to the id.
Okay.
So in that case we will be using comparable interface, because it will give you the natural sorting order based on let it be ascending order, descending order, based on the id.
Hmm.
So
Hmm. Got it.
that is done. But let's say I have another requirement where since already data is sorted on the id, you are getting the employee list object based sorting based on the id.
Hmm.
But now I have a requirement ki I know like it is sorted on the id, but same data I want to sort based on the name, employee name or employee age.
Hmm.
So in that case, here we are customizing the requirement, right? On demand,
Hmm.
you need to sort it.
Hmm. Hmm.
So in that case, we will be using comparator interface.
Okay. When it's not simple ascending or descending, it
No,
is.
that will be ascending and descending only, because anyway we have only sorting order is either you can sort the data in ascending order or you can sort the data on descending order. But
Okay.
that will give you on the demand. Okay, let's say this natural sorting order is happening on the class level.
Hmm.
Whenever you are creating a object, it will be sorted based on whatever you have defined in the class. That I'll show
Hmm.
you in the how we do in the hands-on demo, then you will understand better. Just understand the theory. It does the data sorting on a natural order, and here the custom sorting is not possible in case of comparable.
Okay.
But in case of comparator we can do the custom order
Custom
sorting.
sorting. Got it.
And both the interfaces will have some method, because we have already discussed that because interface has the method and we give that implementation of that method in a class.
Correct.
So comparable interface has a method called compare to.
Hmm.
So when we implement this interface in our class, we have to override this compare to method.
Hmm.
And what it does, so when we do the sorting using this method, right, how it works internally is that it returns a integer value.
Okay.
So either it will return a value which is greater than 0, or
Hmm.
it is a equal to 0, or it
Hmm.
is less than 0. So
Okay.
this method will return you three value, that is
Okay.
integer value. One value will be greater than 0, less than 0, and equal to 0.
Hmm.
So if the value returned by this method is less than 0, which is negative,
Hmm.
then the current object is less than the other object.
Got it.
If the value return is 0, it means both the objects are equal.
Hmm.
If it returns the positive, it means that current object is greater than the other object.
Hmm. Hmm.
So this is how the compare to method works.
Okay.
So now same, I have already discussed about comparator, but comparator is used for having that custom sorting order, or you can do the sorting with the multiple field. Like
Hmm.
let's say you want to sort the data based on name also and based on ID also.
Hmm. Hmm.
So in that case you can go for the comparator interface.
Okay.
And here we need a separate class to implement it. So this does
Okay.
not happen on a class level. That I will explain you why this does not happen on a class level and this happened on a class level.
Okay.
So this is the major difference, and both the interfaces are available on different packages.
How? Oh,
Comparable
line.
interface comes from java.lang package,
Okay.
and comparator interface comes from java.util package.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
So both packages are in different, both the interfaces are in different packages. So
Hmm.
these are the few differences. So why I am giving more focus on this point is because in
Hmm.
interview you will be asked what is difference between comparator and comparable.
Hmm.
So you should be able to tell when to use what and what is the difference between. So first difference is that you can give this package when one is coming from java.lang and other is coming from java.util package. The next difference is that one is used for natural sorting order, other is used for custom sorting order.
Custom sorting. Hmm.
And comparable make the changes on the class level,
Hmm.
and comparator does not implement comparable. I mean the change does not happen on the class.
Okay.
And wherever you use the comparator interface, you will be not using mostly comparable.
Huh. Huh.
So these are the few differences that you should know, and what
o-
is the definition of these two interfaces,
Okay.
when to use what. So this is the first topic for today, and I'll just go to IntelliJ. 1 second.
I have not used this ever, so I don't know how it is used.
Yeah, just try to understand.
Mm-hmm.
So we discussed about comparable interface and comparator interface.
Mm-hmm.
So let's
Comparable.
and comparator. So it's basically about sorting the data. So how we are going to sort the data? Very frequently you will be using this concept, like we have so many data and I want to sort the data in ascending order, descending order, or
Mm.
let's say other field. So
Mm.
let's say I have a movie class, okay, and movie has some properties like what is the rating of the movie, what is the name of the movie, which year it got released. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I want to sort the movie based on the year it is released.
Okay.
This is my requirement. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
I want, when I create this object, it has to be sorted based on the release year. So we have the property called year, and you see, I told you, right, ki it has to be sorted based on the year, and it has to be done at the time of when we create the object itself. Like separately we are not doing it.
Mm.
So
When the movie object is created.
yes,
Okay. Mm.
and this will work on the class level. So here you see, comparable
Implement.
interface, I am implementing it here with the movie class,
Mm.
and this class has a method called compare to. So
Okay.
let's say if I remove this, you see, here it is showing a error.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Automatically it creates, like, it
Yes.
will.
So let me remove this. Okay. So now there is no error. So you know, when we implement any interface, you have to give that implementation. So let's say I'm implementing this comparable interface. So whenever you implement a interface, right, if you don't
Mm.
provide that implementation, it will give you compile time error. So here you see, when I hover on it, it is saying that you have to implement the method. There is a
Oh, okay.
method called compare to that you have to implement.
Okay. Okay.
So you need to implement this. When, so if you do this, here you get that method
Object. Oh, okay. Got it. Hmm.
compare to. Now you see that error went off
Okay.
because this
Hmm.
comparable interface has this method inside it. So
Mm-hmm.
when you implement any interface, you have to give that implementation of all the method inside that interface. So here you can just give that movie because it is of movie type, and here you need to pass that movie object, because see, now we are not making generic, right? It will always accept that movie object. If you pass any other object, it will throw you the error.
But we have not created the object. Movie is
And
equal
that
to
I will
movie.
come back. That I will come back.
Okay.
So
Okay.
here you see,
Hmm.
here right now I am defining this method, what this method will do.
Hmm. Okay. Hmm.
So this method, I told you, right, this method returns the integer value. Here you see the return type of this method is int.
Int.
So
Hmm.
either this method will return you the value
Great.
greater than 0, less than 0, or equal to 0. These three value will be only returned.
Mm-hmm.
And here I will give that implementation how I want this data to be sorted. So I told you based on this year, right?
Hmm.
So we can take this year value minus this object which we are passing it here.
Hmm.
Let's say I will give this movie dot year. So here we are sorting data based on the current object. Do you remember
Hmm.
this?
Yes. That
So
is the
this,
variable within the class.
yes. So this dot year will tell this year,
Hmm.
and movie dot year is coming what is passed here.
Objects here.
Yes.
Huh.
So there are two objects we are comparing, right? Because when you do the sorting, minimum you will have two things to compare.
Hmm.
Because how will you know that which is greater, which is smaller, or it is equal? At least you will have two things to compare, right?
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
So we are comparing with the current object and the object which is passed.
As parameter.
Yes. So this is how we use this comparable interface,
Okay.
and rest is
And
the getter and setter.
hmm. Okay.
Now this is the class where I have already defined this comparable interface, and we have already given the implementation of this compare to method. Now let's say, now I'm coming to the implementation of it.
Hmm.
So let's say I have a list of a movie.
Hmm.
So here you see I'm adding this movie object into the list.
Okay. Oh, directly without. Okay.
Huh. It is same thing. Either just I have added it here. You can
Ah.
do like that also. You can just create a movie object. Let's say movie obj equal to this, and you can pass this here like this.
Object one. Object.
Here it is here. So both are same thing. I just either you create the object separately or you can just create object here itself.
Okay. Okay.
So both will work. However you
Hmm.
feel, it's just that if you create these three objects, it will be another three lines of code.
Ah.
So I just
Got it.
created object inside it.
Okay.
So now I told you right, my requirement is कि this movie object has to be sorted based on the year.
Hmm.
Okay, right? So I have
Hmm.
this list,
Hmm.
and now I'll use this sort method of the collections,
Hmm.
and we'll pass this list,
Okay.
and it will use that movie things what we have implemented here, right? Comparable interface,
Hmm.
and it will sort the data. So
Hmm.
let's say here you see my data is coming as first movie is 1977, then 1980, then 1983.
Okay. Ascending order by default.
Yes. So if you want to use in descending order, here you can do that change.
Okay.
Now if you run, it should be in descending order. So now you see order got changed.
Hmm.
So it's you, like how you want to drive the data, whether you want in ascending order or descending order. But here we did not created a separate class for sorting it, right? Whatever class was there, we made change in that. So we had movie class, we made change in movie class itself.
Hmm.
So that is what I was discussing in the theory, like it will change the class itself.
Hmm. Hmm.
But in case of comparator, it does not change the class, it creates a separate class.
Hmm.
So this is how the comparable works. So whenever anywhere you work, any project you work, when it comes to the sorting in Java,
Hmm.
these are the two interfaces that is used. Either it will be a comparable interface or it will be a comparator interface.
Return. Okay.
So these are the two interfaces. So right now I discussed about the comparable interface.
Okay.
But let's say now I tell you कि I want to sort the data based on the movie name,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So how will you sort the data based on the movie name?
Same. You can add it in that compare to.
No, but
And
you have to
oh,
make the change, right? Here you have to make that change.
yes, yes.
So
Movie dot name.
so
This year.
but I
This movie.
but I that this will change the code of your existing data, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So if you change it here by name, you will lose this year thing. But I
Yeah.
want like by default it has to be sorted on year.
Hmm.
So let's say like this. I have a this employee data and I'm giving this employee data to three-person. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
One person wants data sort based on this year,
Hmm.
which is automatically happening. So I don't have to do anything, right? I can just only give this employee list to him.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
but second person and third person has a different requirement. They don't want data to be sorted on year.
Hmm.
They want data to be sorted on, one wants on the name and other wants on the rating.
Hmm.
So you will not write, you will not say that I will remove this and then I will add rating, then I will add year and then I will pass the data.
Hmm.
Because at the same time you are not able to pass the data to all of them, right? It means that if you do change, you will be passing data at a time only to one of them.
Hmm.
So right now this is based on the year. Let's say
Hmm.
what I'm trying to explain you is here. So right now that list is sorted on year, okay?
Hmm.
And I have a three person, person A, person B, person C, and this three person needs this list data.
Hmm.
This person needs this employee data, this list
Hmm.
based on the year, which is this, right?
Hmm.
But person B needs based on the rating,
Okay.
and C needs based on the name.
Hmm.
So right now the data what we have is sorted based on the years, which is
Ye-
fitting to a requirement.
Yeah.
So we can directly pass this data to A. You can use
Got
it.
it. Hmm.
But can we pass the same data to B and C?
No.
But my code which we have used will
Hmm.
always give you data sorted based on the year.
Yes. Correct.
This is what I was talking about, natural sorting order. So here that flexibility is not there, like what I was talking about custom sorting order.
Got it.
So now we have to make this custom sorting, right?
Hmm.
Like it has to be based on my own demand. My
Got it.
current demand is I want the data to be sorted on the rating and name,
Hmm.
but that flexibility is not there with comparable interface, because we
Hmm. Hmm.
cannot make a change for every requirement, right, in the code.
Correct.
So for that purpose we have this comparator interface.
Okay.
So comparator interface gives you flexibility for custom order sorting and more than one field.
Hmm.
So you can do with this comparator interface. Let's see how. So here you see we have a, I have taken an example of a student. So let's
Okay.
say I have a student whose property is ID and name,
Okay.
and I want to sort on ID also and I want to sort on name also.
Hmm.
So here you see we are not implementing that comparator interface with the class itself.
Hmm. Hmm.
But
Hmm.
in case of comparable, we implemented that with the
At a
movie
class
class
level.
himself.
Hmm.
Movie class we implemented along with the movie class, right? This comparable
Yes.
interface. But in case of comparator, we are not implementing in the same class. So it will not change the class. Here it is
Okay.
changing the class itself.
Yeah.
But in comparator, it is not changing the class.
Hmm.
So I said you that it creates a new class. So let's say I want to sort the data based on the ID also and based on the name. So someone, let's say data needs based on ID, I'll give that ID data. Someone needs data based on the sorting based on the name, I'll pass that sorting by name data.
Name data.
So
Okay.
I'll create a separate class
Oh.
and
Okay. Okay.
I'll implement this comparator interface
In that.
in that.
Okay.
And
Custom class. Hmm.
yes, custom class. And see, for ID it is a separate class, and for name it is a
Name.
separate class.
Got it.
And I'm comparator interface has a compare method,
Hmm.
and compare method takes two argument. If you see, comparable interface has compare to method and it takes only one argument. because we
Yes.
have another argument is here is a current object,
Okay.
because this current object is available within the class, right? This will
Uh,
this refers to the current object reference,
hmm.
but here we don't have this current object because this we are creating in a separate class. So
Hmm.
student object does not have here with this, so we need to pass the two student, right, to compare it.
Correct.
So we are
Correct.
passing two student like two objects s1 and s2, and then we are calling this s1
Return.
dot name dot compare to dot s2 dot name, because this is sorting data based on the name.
Got it.
So this is how we implement comparator, and let's see how we use it. So again the same example, we have here list of student,
Hmm.
and let's say I need data sorted based on the name and based on the id. So we are using this collection dot sort method, and we are passing this list,
Hmm.
and along with list we are telling that this list has to be sorted based on this name comparator, which
Hmm.
is this.
Hmm.
So this will sort based on the name, because on demand we are telling ki this data needs to be sorted on what I am telling to this sort method.
Hmm.
Similarly, here we are passing that I am telling in the second line number 18, passed is list and id comparator. So this list has to be sorted based on the id. So if you run this, so here you see the second is sorted based on the id 1 2 3.
Hmm.
First is sorted on the name Elise Bob Charlie ABC.
Hmm.
In the first result, you are not saying that data is sorted based on the ID. ID is like random 312.
Hmm.
But in second case, ID is 123.
Yeah,
So
got it.
let's say tomorrow we have another attribute email. You can just write a email comparator and you can pass it. So we are
Yes,
not
got it.
doing any change to my existing code.
We create a separate
We are
class
just
kind of.
adding new functionality to it.
Hmm.
But
Got it.
in case of comparable, you said right, we have to make a change in that method.
Hmm.
So this is the difference. So whenever we need a custom order sorting, we will always go for comparator.
Okay.
And when we need that natural sorting order, we'll always go for comparable interface.
Okay.
So
I have one question. I'm not able to figure out in both. The thing is, when you compare the compare to method or the comparison part,
yes,
uh, com- uh, so value wise, how does it compare? Like, it takes the list. For example, maybe the first student has. Can you go scroll up a little bit?
yes,
First student has 3.
yes.
What does 3 get compared to in the first iteration? Like it will send the list. What does it get compared to?
So here we are passing it two objects. You see.
So 1 and 2. So
So we
first object and second object.
yes. So it will compare with the s1 dot name
Hmm.
with s2 dot name. So first object dot name and second object dot name.
So that will in a list it will be sequential. So
Yes,
0 index, 1 index,
yes,
then 1 index, 2 index, 3 2 index, 3 index like
yes.
that.
So how will you compare? Like you need two things to compare, right? Then only you will decide like which is greater or which is lesser.
Correct. So
So
but in comparable there is only one, no, that we are only
no,
passing.
comparable we have one current object, right? One object
Yeah.
we are passing it,
Hmm.
and one object is the current object.
But where do we specify what is the current object?
This object is the current object, right? This keyword.
But it should have some value, right? Like
So
what
this
is the
year will have that value, right?
uh, oh,
This we have this year, right? This year and this year. Both are a
so move
separate variable. So movie dot, let's say movie dot Year will have some value 9080, let's say, minus this dot year will have some value, let's say 2020. So we have two
Ha.
value.
But where is this year coming from? This
This
year
year
is,
is the current object, right? This is the current object.
but it is not initialized. No, there is like it's only declared. Like it is just, it is
So
null.
no, it will be having a default value. It will be not a null because these are the primitive data types. So let's do one thing
Like
to
if you can
clarify.
explain the
Let's
iteration.
here you print this, right? Print
This
this,
year.
yes, movie object, and print this movie dot year. Okay, let's see
Hmm.
what value is coming here, and then print this dot year.
Hmm.
Now let's execute it. What data is getting printed?
Okay.
So one second, let me give some space here. You put some space so that, and don't get confused. So first only add only one, just comment this
Both. Ha.
both and see what is getting printed. So where is that data? So there is only one value, right? So there is nothing to compare. What will you sort
Oh.
if you have only one value?
So it gets compared to null.
So it is not even calling that method. If that method would have been called, you would have seen this log here, right?
Ha. Ha.
So because there is nothing to compare, if there is only one thing, that itself is sorted, right? There is no need to sort.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now let's see, we have two
Second it.
things, yes.
Hmm.
So now you see we got
So
this. So movie object we got, let me
so
print it.
movie object, that is one,
No,
like the first
let
movie
me make a
object.
change in the uh, log. I think since both are printing the same message, so you will not able to figure it out which is what.
Uh,
So now you see the movie object is printing 1977, which is first object,
yeah.
and second object when we created, this is the current object,
Yes, that will be movie dot
this dot here.
year. Movie dot, this dot year.
Yes, so you see the first line it is printing 1977, which is my first object, which we are passing it here in the compare to method, and second object when we created, that is coming as a this dot here, which is my current object. It will compare with the current object. So when we have only one object, there is nothing to compare, so this method is not even invoking at that point of time.
Hmm.
Now if you create another object, let's say this, so now your this will compare with the result. Now let's see what is getting printed. So now it is printing with 1980 and 1983,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Because this is my movie object 1980 now,
Huh.
and 1983 is my current object.
Okay.
In first scenario, 1977 was my movie object and 1980 was current object.
Okay.
So it is comparing with the new object which you are creating is becoming my current object.
So here it's comparing with the previous. Yeah. One change. Can you make the first one as 1980 and the second one as
So
1977?
okay, 1977. So let's see. So now
1970.
it is calling, first it compared with 1980, which is correct, and current object is 1997.
Why did it compare the first time?
First time is my this, right? This is my movie object, which is
Hmm.
compared with the current object 1977.
Movie object. Okay.
Then in the next it is compared with movie object is 1977,
Hmm.
and where the
The
current
object.
object is
How? What?
1983, because we created this.
Second. Second line. Yeah.
Yes. So first line is this, second line is this, and third
Two
line
more.
is this 1977 and 1983. Then
How did?
1980 and 19, because we are trying to
Oh,
sort the
sort
data
method.
based on the ID, right? So end result we need this 1983, 1980 and 1977.
Oh, that is maybe inbuilt
Yes.
method, like
So this is
sorting it does by
correct.
itself.
So internally it is sorting that data, because this is not in a sorted manner, right?
Ah, okay, okay.
So
So I don't know the implementation. I
so
just
you have to
know
go and look into the implementation of the sort method.
sort.
This is the built-in method how it is implemented inside.
Ah, okay,
So
okay.
this will return you the 0, 1, 2 based on the value is greater, lesser or equal to. This method,
Hmm.
where is this compared to method? So let's say if you print value of this, it will print you 0, 1 or minus 1.
Hmm.
So let me run this. You see, it is printing value greater than 0, which is 3.
Hmm.
Then it is lesser than 0,
Hmm.
because no two value are equal.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
let me add a another object. I'll just give something. I'll keep the year same. So you should have 0 also now. So here you
Hmm.
see it is 0, because these two value are same.
Okay, it takes the one and two. So the first one it will take, and the second one will be this.
In the
Okay.
first scenario, but when sometimes let's say here you have some value which is even
Already
lesser than
sort.
this,
Hmm.
so that has to be rearranged, right? The order has to be
Yes.
changed.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why it is doing multiple times. You saw like
Hmm.
couple of times it printed more,
Hmm.
because it will rearrange also. Let's say first two were correctly arranged,
Hmm.
but next you got the value which has to be first,
Hmm.
so it
Hmm.
will arrange with the sorted data also. Once
Hmm.
it will arrange based on two value, which will decide
Hmm.
which is greater and which is greater and which is lesser. But
Hmm.
whatever has already been sorted, it has to
Hmm.
be at correct position in that list also.
Correct, correct, got it. Hmm.
So that's the reason you saw that couple of more times that method was called.
Hmm. Oh, got it.
So this is how like it works. So we discuss about comparator and comparable. So I was discussing more into the comparator. So comparator will also work on the same way. It's just that we are giving our custom order, like we are passing that uh, parameters we want to sort the data.
Hmm.
So in case of name parameter, it will sort the data based on name,
Hmm.
and in case of ID,
ID.
it will pass the data on ID. So let's say tomorrow you want to have in descending order. So you can always change that implementation. Here you can change. Here you can make S1. Here you can make S2. So now you see the data will be sorted on descending order of ID things. So now you see it is 3 to 1.
Hmm.
So it is up to you like how you want to sort the data. This was just that one example I gave you, but in real time project, you will have the scenario where you will need these things to, like this comparator interface will be used many places where you need to sort the data on runtime or on demand.
Hmm. Hmm. Got it.
So you will be using these two interface. So this is about the sorting things.